And we don't need to collectively decide on those details tonight, because luckily we do have until Saturday night and until Saturday day. And so hopefully working groups will form out of these. But what we want you to do is turn to the people next to you and form small cluster discussions. In our experience, these discussions have gone best with 5 to 8 people. Once you get beyond that, it gets a little bit harder to facilitate. And in each group, can you please pick a facilitator or a person that will help keep everybody on subject? And if you need our help, we'll be walking around. You can call for a facilitator. And that role, or you can pick another role for someone that will come and report back. So what we're really looking for here are solutions, tactics, and ideas that can be reported back in a succinct and solution-oriented way. And then we're going to come back and hear back from each of the groups, and then have a broader discussion about what are the elements that we can all agree upon to bring to the working groups and spokes council to implement for our until our eviction. Everybody understands? Okay.
I raised my hand. Okay.
I'll be back.
Manageable for them. And it also will facilitate more discussion at a critical time in the movement, and so that regardless of the outcome of Sunday morning, at 12:01 a.m., the discussions will be continued. There will be more passion amongst a greater amounts of people, because we need to continue a presence that involves people that aren't here every day, because there are a lot of people who are sympathetic that can't be here, but they do want to come to important moments, and this is obviously a very important moment.
It's a real nice statement of solidarity for people to come down for a potluck when they're not able to commit for the idea of occupying or various other ways, to just have to participate in this one night, the celebration of the fact that you're trying to gather to achieve a safer, freer, society. So that is a stake that if people come down and show up, they'll be exposed to this discussion that we're having, and outreach to consciousness will occur.
It's such a new idea that there's a lot of real pockets. I know I miss potluck itself. Another way to contribute. It's for you just to bring food down. You don't even have to think about it. So that's one of the three things we would say. March down, or bring food, or
I really like the idea of the job fair, and I think that we should really work that up into something. Like bring possible jobs. Everybody could bring a job suggestion that they want taken care of in the country.
It gets back to the cause.
Yeah.
Rather than just trying to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, like what I was saying is we need to convey a narrative.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Just defending the campus.
We need a lot of work done around the country. Taking care of the drug addicts.
Perhaps we could weave that in, and perhaps, or maybe other events or stunts to have and not necessarily have that written on the flyer or anything. Just sort of have that be surprises that go throughout the night. It would be exciting.
Handing out the patients that are coming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very situationist.
It seems like our job is awesome because that ties right into the issues, the things, the problems that the mayor has outlined, like homelessness, poverty, crime. Crime is a symptom of these things. These are caused by lack of jobs. So we have a job fair because
everyone to come back together here and send up your person. We're going to start to do the report backs here momentarily.
Where am I lining up?
And can you really move in as much as possible? There's some bright lighting back here, and we're not going to be able to see all the twinkly responses from people on the sides. Don't be afraid of the center. We're all going to be real close and comfy for the next couple days anyway. Come on. As you're coming back together, there was a severe safety concern at camp that I just want to let everybody know about. There is apparently somebody going around dropping flares, road flares, around camp, around very flammable materials, and the police apparently don't care who has done it. They just want to arrest someone for it. We as a camp collectively, I just want to reiterate now, this is my own personal sentiment, but I think just because we've been given an eviction notice for 12:01 at Sunday does not mean that they won't move in faster if they can claim a reason to. So we need to collectively be watching out for behavior like this, and if you see the person dropping the flares, grab a couple people around you, try to diffuse the situation, and maybe get them out of camp if possible, because we don't need that behavior.
Okay, great. So, thank you. I hope you had a good opportunity to speak together about some of these different ideas in your small groups. What we're going to do now is we're going to hear from the people reporting back from the small groups, and we're going to ask them to do two things each. One, first, speak to the values or the feel of how your group thought that the next couple of days and Saturday night should be. And then we're going to see how people respond to that, if people kind of are in agreement with what was stated. And we're going to be recording these as we go. And then we're going to ask the person that is reporting back to state any specific kind of action items, whether that's different kinds of outreach or feeder marches or whatever that is. And then we're also going to see how people feel about those and report that twinkle level as well. Brian is going to be typing these up as we go and trying to synthesize it, and then at the end we're going to try and see what the synthesis of these report backs are, and we'll then talk about that as a large group here and see if we can get some implementation going, some people that are willing to be the points of contact to get some of the ideas that have a lot of resonance, a lot of agreement with everyone moving forward so that we can quickly move into action with them. Clarifying question before we start.
Note taker, you want me to be taking notes of these, or is that going to be good enough?
No, additional notes are always great. Please do. Thank you. Okay. That sound good?
So, value first, and then we'll do pickles.
Okay, hello, can everyone hear me? Great. So this is an idea of, we'll just keep it going so it's quick, right? Okay, so this is an idea with two parts. One part is directly facing the potential eviction, and then Sunday, a follow-up action plan. So to utilize all of our differences and make them as compatible as possible, and to be as symbolic as possible, we thought that this would be a great image. And I'm just going to give you the image instead of trying to describe it in another way. So we make a wall around the camp of people who are willing to go to jail, who sit down peacefully with their mouths taped. And they're partnered up with people who maybe can't go to prison yet. And they are there reading the story of their partner who has their mouth taped. Okay? And then on the inside of the circle, we can have people who feel the need that they need to scream or be physical, so that no one is forced into doing something that they're not comfortable or capable of doing, and that we're all supporting each other in that way. And this will allow people from outside the camp to also participate more. So then the follow.
So how do people feel about that idea? Please, we need you to participate with this. So twinkle if you like that. Everyone needs to participate here. There's just one thing she said here.
So the general idea is that people would partner up. And the person that goes away, who has their mouth shut, taped shut, would have their story read by their partner. Okay? Then the follow-up day, the partner would do a march so that everyone could see that people went away. And we would hear their stories again.
Okay. And how do people feel about that? Could people show support for that if they like that idea? Okay. Was there a clarifying question? I think we could hold clarifying questions till the end. We're going to try and hear all these ideas and see where there's points of agreement or the same kinds of ideas coming up. And that's why it's so important that people participate and show if they agree with the ideas that are being stated here. We're going to hear the ideas. Could you mic check your question? I couldn't even hear myself.
Is there going to be this question answer thing that we just saw, or do we hear the ideas first, once through, and then maybe give support? After we give support, we got to hear the ideas first.
Okay, so People are going to state their idea. Then we're going to see how people feel about it, if they agree with it. Then if they have a second one, they'll say that one as well. We'll do the same thing, and then hear from the next person. And we're going to see what different ideas we have up, how much support the ones have, or if some of them are very similar and can be combined, and then we'll try and synthesize them here at the end, because there are going to be many people reporting back. Okay? So, second report back person.
Hi, my name is Cameron. How's everybody doing today? I represent those beautiful people over there. They're all very brilliant geniuses. I love them. So, basically, I want to just remind people that even New York, they got warnings from their mayor about concerns of why we're going to shut down the Occupy movement. And they were able to address those reasons and prevent it from happening. We have that choice here. The camp, the community, the city, we all are agreeing about what the problem is. We still have crime going on, we have drugs, we have all these things that we cannot control. But we do have the power to fix that. And so what we have proposed is that we do a master cleanse. We have a lot of things that we need to reorganize. We tried, we kept it for 5 weeks, but we saw that it's not working. And we can start over. We can take down the tents and the tarps. We can show transparency. We can prove to City Hall that we do not have criminals here. We have activists. That's what we can prove to them. And yes, I will mention that we will have people here who will refuse to put down their tents. But we have community here. And we have nonviolent protests. And we can show to those people that we are working for our own best interests. That the police, if they come in and raid us, they will tear our shit apart. They will ruin our tents. So if we, carefully put everything together and we preserve what belongs to us, what's important to us, then we can protect it. And then we can work as a community to outreach to everybody and tell them to help clean up this park. Because we can keep it, and it's worth doing that. Thank you.
So how do people feel about that idea? If we could get just twinkles up to gauge the level of agreement. Okay, great. Next person, please.
Hi, everyone. Our group overwhelmingly brought forth constructive, nonviolent approaches for Saturday. In particular, doing outreach to the community, the rest of the 99%, to join us at an event on Saturday to increase our numbers in a show of solidarity, and also so we can continue the discussion we've been having for 5 weeks. The various ways that could be produced would be through a potluck, a job fair, any sort of community event, and asking people also, if they're unable to attend, to do a public demonstration in their communities at a similar time. We also would like to address and create a political statement specific to Saturday that addresses Sam Adams' concerns about crime and poverty, and the ways in which arresting people is not a constructive way to deal with those issues.
So can folks show the agreement for the first idea, this idea of the community events, and really hold them up there if you're into that, so we can get a sense? Just hold them up for a second.
Party on Saturday!
Okay, great. And then the second idea, the statement, if people can show if they're in agreement with that or not, and just hold them up for a second so we can really see.
What's it going to be? What's the statement?
He gave a general description of it. We're just kind of getting general senses of where we agree and what the different ideas are right now. Great. Next person.